Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Room. I'm Travis Bruce, and today we're doing another indie horror spotlight. Today, I have with us the cast of two amazing movies. They're having a premiere in my neck of the woods over in Heavy Day Grace, Maryland. I have with us, first off, Justin Martin. Justin, welcome to the Horror Room.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure having you on. And also, I have on Chris Ridings. Chris, welcome to the Horror Ring.
Thank you for having me.
And Kay, welcome back. I have a returning guest, Kay
Hi,
Rating.
guys. Thank you for having me again, man. It's awesome to be here.
It's always a pleasure having you on. All right, so let's shoot over first to the first movie that you guys going to talk about today is CRACKCOON, which I love the fucking title. When I was at Creature Feature Weekend over in Pennsylvania a couple of weeks ago, I got to see the booth there, and I was like, "What is CRACKCOON?" So tell us a little bit about CRACKCOON.
Yeah, for sure. So first I'll say I missed you, Travis, at Creature Feature. When I got to the booth, I already just walked away, so I missed you by like a second.
Yes, by a second.
By a second. But hopefully you did see the poster on the booth there for CRACKCOON. So definitely a very popular poster going on. If anyone has seen the trailer, I think we're over 300,000 views so far on the trailer on YouTube. So it's definitely getting a lot of raps and heat. So CRACKCOON, yeah, let's jump right into it, dig right into it, scratch right into it, whatever you want to do. So CRACKCOON, oh my gosh, where to begin? There's this new hyper crack that is called acid mind drainage.
Yep.
And it starts to leak out there a little bit, and people start to get their hands on it. And one by one, obviously there's some reactions to it that aren't so good. There's a couple drug dealers, including myself. I play Frankie in CRACKCOON, so I'm one of the drug dealers. And we're on a mission to deliver some of this acid mind drainage to a bunch of young adults who are just on summer vacation. They're just trying to enjoy themselves and have a good time, and they want some drugs. I mean, we've all been there, right? Except for me, I don't do drugs. But yeah, so our mission is to get them this hyper crack, and unfortunately, we get in trouble with the law, so we got to toss that bag out the window as soon as we can. And as you can imagine, we're in the middle of the forest, so what else? Not a bear this time, guys. Now it's a raccoon. So the raccoon gets into it, and it kind of all goes downhill from there. Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Now, raccoons, I know raccoons personally. They are some vicious fucking animals.
They are.
And I can only imagine what a raccoon would be like on crack.
On crack?
Not just crack, like a super crack.
A super crack.
Super orange.
Whole
so it's
crack.
Yeah. I mean, it's an orange crack, so it's already kind of weird to begin with.
Right. Yeah. It's hard to spot this thing.
So, Chris, when you read the script, what did you think?
I got a bunch of giggles out of it, and I was like, Brad, what do you want me to do in this? And then he gave me the script, and he offered me a couple different roles, and I went with the one I thought would be the most fitting for me at the time. So, which is a local that doesn't like Denny so much, which is Justin's character's partner, if I remember. And we'll say I have my own hijinks with the super crack, and things don't go great for my friends. Yeah.
So, I mean, as you guys know, I do live in Baltimore, and it is crack central here in Baltimore. And Maryland, too. I mean, we're the Maryland and crack, the capital of the country.
Oh, yeah.
So, I can imagine some super... I've seen my share of people on crack before, and I can imagine you take some fucking super crack.
Right.
It's going to be a fun fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the trailer, which you can find on YouTube, some of the side effects you could see is like yellow goo coming out of the eyes and the mouth. Oddly enough, the raccoon doesn't seem to have that problem, but he does look like he stayed up for the last 5 days, no sleep, and just kind of twitching out as he's going towards people.
Now, he will have orange eyes, from what I hear.
Yeah.
He will have some
Nice.
eyes edited in. But yeah, I mean, imagine being on crack and speed at the same time.
Mhm.
That's pretty much what this is. So it's dangerous.
Now, there's a lot of crack animal horror movies out there,
Correct.
and they all have that horror comedy feel to it. Is that what we're going to expect with CRACKCOON as well?
Oh yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not in the movie, and I even know that.
So this is the way, and maybe Justin would agree with me. This is a movie that doesn't take itself too seriously. It wants you to have a good time.
Right.
It's kind of like, hey, spend 90 some minutes with us, watch some hijinks, watch some blood, boobs, and just have a good time. Like,
Yeah.
it's not going to solve the problems in life or with the world, but maybe you'll forget them for about 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll definitely be laughing along for sure. It's more of a comedy, I would say.
Yeah, I got like Reanimator vibes. Like it has blood, it has guts, but it also has those uptick moments where you're just kind of laughing at what you're seeing on screen. Like dead cat details later. Okay. It's just random. Just it's a whole. It goes all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a shit show, but a good shit show.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was missing right there. The shit show.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, do you know-
it has a great cast too. It goes like you have a bunch of people that maybe you're not familiar with, but it also has a lot of regulars of the indie scene that you're going to get a whole smorgasbord of levels of experience and people that might be afterwards. You might be like, I want to see what they do next. Like it's a nice repertoire of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it has a stellar cast for sure. I'm really excited to see them in action all together.
I can't wait to see it. It sounds like a fun time. Now do you all agree with me that for the longest time, like mainstream big budget horror has always taken themselves so seriously. But one thing over the decades, indie horror has not been afraid of is to make fun of itself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
I'm glad
absolutely.
to see that's happening more.
Right, 100%. Yeah, and you'll even see throughout CRACKCOON, there's so many moments that are like a lot of quick puns, quick hitters, and a lot of the characters do take a big risk. And a lot of this wasn't, and I've been saying this in other interviews promoting the film, but a lot of our lines were improv. I mean, we had our script, but to make our characters, we added lines to it. A lot of those comedic moments, and again, like you said, we're kind of making fun of certain situations and making fun of ourselves at the same time in the situation that we're in. It's just, I mean, oh my God, it's a great time. It's going to be hilarious. Yeah.
All right. Now, how long did it take filming wise for CRACKCOON?
About 2 weeks, wasn't it? Like, I mean, there was random pickup days, but
for some of us, but not for me and Rosaria. It actually, we did another almost like 4 or 5 days-ish. We went to film. This is some of the good behind-the-scenes stuff that people probably are interested to know. Some of the footage got lost, so we had to go back 3 weeks later and refilm. Almost a month later, actually, yeah, and refilm an entire, like, 2 days worth of scenes. So, for us, for a couple of us, it did extend for quite a bit. And that was a challenge because by then we were actually, both me and Rosaria were focusing on other scripts for different films at the time. And we almost forgot our line. Like we were like, oh my God, I got to get back into CRACKCOON mindset. So we had to just, we had to hit it hard and just try our best. But again, Brad's really good with allowing some improv. So I think I'm hoping to see it looks good, but I think we did a really good job with even coming back and doing that whole thing for like 2 days.
Well, and sometimes the second time round, when kind of stuff like that happens, it's like it's better than what it was before.
Right.
You know, your performances are better than what they were before,
Yeah,
which I find a
yeah, you have some experience with it, and it's easier to do this.
Yeah.
Really, so.
And side note, it was announced, I think today. I don't know if this is live now for people to watch or later in timeline, but Kay was announced for the sequel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
It was.
So Kay was announced for Crocodile, which is currently crowdfunding on Indiegogo right now, where you can get perks to be in the movie, do a voiceover, buy a DVD, all that type of stuff, and support Justin and Kay and maybe another bearded fellow here.
Let me write that down on the list, because the horror room, we definitely support every Indiegogo for any filmmakers who come on our show. So we will be definitely supporting.
And Fuzzy Monkey definitely has a record of finishing their products. We have the Killer Campout 2 and CRACKCOON Indiegogos wrapping up here soon. Yes, it took a little while to get the films finished because we had some production stuff like Justin referenced, but DVDs and things and perks and whatnot will be coming out shortly. So I think it's good timing with Brad wrapping these two up and moving towards the next.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, one of the issues, last month I was in my first indie horror film, and I've gotten a couple other ones since. Thank you. And I've gotten a couple other ones. Now, you guys have been doing this a lot longer than I have. The biggest trouble I have is remembering my fucking lines. What are some things that you guys do to help you remember your lines?
It's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to go first? I want to see if you might take my answers below.
So for me, like, I don't know, like, the verbiage of it, but, like, I'm all of the learning styles when I'm trying to memorize. I am fairly quick, like, at memorizing. I can memorize 3 pages in one sitting.
Nice.
Yeah, within an hour. So I'm pretty quick. Like, not monologue, obviously, but like, you know, lines. So I'll like read the script, read through. I'll make like notes and like when I'm reading the script, I like to read it out loud to see how it like feels in my mouth. And yes, but like it's kind of like that tangible. I also have to like hear it as I'm saying it, you know. And oftentimes when I'm working on, so I'll make like notes as I'm going, okay, you know, just my thoughts of like how I think I should deliver this, or how I can change it to maybe something that's more comfortable. And then once I get that down, I will stand up. Like, I have a tread climber, and I typically take my scripts on my tread climber. And as I'm doing my hour walk, I will like go through my lines, and it really helps, like moving and pacing and saying it out loud. And, you know, and typically like I'll cover it up. I'll take another sheet of paper, cover it up, and, you know, try not to look. But a lot of times, a good trick is your line is based off of whoever is speaking to you. So you can typically grab your line from their line, you know.
Yeah. I would agree.
So, yeah, that's my process. It's a lot, but it works.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off Kay, because I think the same thing. I'm a big note taker. Definitely have to take notes. The same thing with Kay. I'm big on like covering up my sheet so I can know it before I look at it to make sure I'm right. I read the script probably way too many times. I definitely read through only my lines first, the first 2 times as I'm studying them. And then when I'm about 75% of the way there, memorized, I'll read the entire script and then know the importance of the beats between the characters, and then get to know their lines. So by the time I'm done my 3rd round, maybe 4, I'll know both characters' lines, and that's important. Yeah. The other thing is probably it's a great idea, if you don't already, is to have a friend or somebody else in the movie that you know be a script, like a scene partner with you in studying. That's big. I think that really does help a lot. Yeah, it helps you memorize without worrying about focusing on the paper. And it's better to have somebody saying it out loud with you. There's a technique.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Kay.
Well, it is kind of better. Like, you can have anybody read with you, but like it is better to have like another actor, because a lot of people who aren't actors will be like, I'll be like, it's your line, and my future fiance will be like, you didn't say this word, and I was like, did I get the gist of the line? Like, did I say like the same thing essentially? And he goes, yeah, but you didn't say it perfectly. And I'm like, I don't care. That's not the purpose of this read through, honey. Right. Or like, especially when I'm doing an audition where I'm like,
Yeah.
If auditions are more like I have to get the words exactly right because I don't always know the person. So I do get a little bit more like, they have to be just right.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd rather have a good take where I get like almost the words perfectly, but get the gist and get the character that I'm trying to go for, rather than try to focus too much on the words. But that's just my particular process.
Yeah, there is a technique I was going to say that I just saw online in an interview, like maybe a month ago. Gosh, I can't remember who it was, but she's a pretty popular actress. She's been in a lot of TV shows. She lives out in LA. So, and you'll learn this if you're in like acting school. This is one of the new techniques they teach you. If you write down the first letter of every word in your lines, just write down the first letter with a period in between. And if it's not a period and it's a hyphen or whatever, add those symbols to it. So it helps you remember. But the first letter, whatever symbols are with them through that whole sentence or two, and study it based on that. So when you do go off script, you're going to remember those letters and know what words are connected to that. I haven't tried that yet, but I want to. So
I tried the first letter of like the first word in a sentence. Like I've done that method, and that's also helpful.
I'm a little different than them. I do some of that with like the reading it and then cover up every now and again, or having a partner read out parts to me and I perform it back. But a big one for me is I actually like to audio record it and listen back. I'll record everyone's lines into an app, and I'll have myself as well in there, and I'll play it. And I'll just, when my lines come up, I say them as we're going along. And that way, like if I'm driving, I could keep it going, or park somewhere waiting for one of my clients, I can do that. Or if I'm just hanging around and want to take a few minutes to work on my script, I don't have to have the papers in front of me. I just press buttons on my phone and start working on my script.
Yeah, or driving 2 hours to set.
Yeah.
It's
good use of time. Yeah.
It has. I have done that before, driving back from sets. Be like, all right, what's the next project? And start playing what I've already pre-recorded in.
Yeah.
And be like, I've learned like scripts that way before. So.
I used to do that for my music when I was in music school, for a decade. And that helped me as well for music. So
I drive with my knees and hold my script in my hand. I'm just kidding.
Script in one hand, iced coffee in the other.
Yes. And my knees are driving yes, absolutely. Totally me.
Now, do most filmmakers, are they anal when it comes to, they want you to be line by line, word by word, or do they give you room to kind of?
It depends on the person, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been with some directors where it's very, those are my words, you'll say them. And then there's other people that are like, as long as you have the overall concept, they're okay with it.
Yeah. Most of the people I've worked with have been like, I don't care if you change this word, that's fine, and like sometimes they'll be like, well, this word is important, this word is the word I want you to say. So if you could just remember that word, in specific parts, then I typically, but I haven't worked with a stickler just yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yet. Unless you count yourself, Chris. No,
I don't think I gave you that much grief.
No,
I was just like, you're gonna do it all. If you want to improv it, just improv it consistent.
Do the same. Yeah. do the same every take, so we don't have a problem. Yeah. No, you did. That was awesome.
So because that way for Travis, in that respect, for sound purposes, you want it to be consistent, because if you're going to edit it together, because you might take part of one section of lines that may have been from camera A, but it's the same audio, and you want to sync it with what may have been on camera B. You want it to be a consistent take, or at least the dialogue to be consistent. So you're not, if the beat changes because you've ad-libbed a new joke, it's going to change the flow.
Right.
Well, and that was a good learning experience for me, Chris, because I, as an actor, I want to give as many different ways to do something right. you know, well and right, and be like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting choice. But when you were like, for sound purposes and consistency, like, and I'm like, oh, that's genius. And now I feel like an asshole.
Yeah, it's fun to improv a little bit, just be like the improv, just all in the same vein. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
There's a big challenge for a lot of actors who are, one, open to the idea of, but also who do this on set, who like to add a little bit of something to their characters and do it differently each take. One thing that's big, and I'm sure Kay and Chris will agree to this and attest to this, there's one word that's really big with actors and being on set, and it starts with a C. It's not cunt. Excuse me, you can blunt that out if you want to.
No,
it's continuity. Continuity is huge. So even if you are an actor who wants to say something a little bit differently, take two, which is fine, but remember your movement, remember the actions, remember you're putting this cup down, remember you're walking over here.
Yeah.
You know, you have to remember those little bits and pieces.
Those little details are
Don't
important.
fix your shirt collar.
Yes. Oh my God, I did it a million times on Killer Campout too. Every 5 seconds I was trying to flip up my polo because Brad wanted my character to look like an 80s douche. So I had my polo up, but it kept like falling over. So every second, I'm like, we're going to see how the movie, one's hanging down, both are up. Next second, one's hanging down, both are up. I mean,
we should make it into a drinking game when we watch it.
I just talked to an actor once on a different film. They started to move my shirt collar, like, because I was wearing a open button up, and they started. I was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm fixing up. Do not. I was like,
Oops.
Get your hands off me. I was like, we're halfway through this scene. It'll go off all the way.
Well, it's almost like
it would just look weird.
It's like in Bloody Summer Camp, Chris. I don't know if you remember this, but Matt Sharp kept, like, he had his hands permanently in his collar. So, like, it took us 2 years to film this project, and like it just kept getting longer and longer and more stressed out. I think I had to give him a new shirt because he was having.
Yeah, and the other part was going up higher and higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bloody Summer Camp shirt just kept rising up.
Oh yeah. I think that was a directorial choice, though.
Well, I appreciate everyone's advice. So, listen, let's go shoot over the Killer Campout Part 2. Tell us a little bit about that.
Just real quick for CRACKCOON, again, it'd just be Saturday, May 25th. A ticket would be $15 if you want to come out and support it. If you want to get the 2-day pass, I believe it is $25, and you get basically you save $5 to get to go see CRACKCOON and Killer Campout.
Now, can you purchase them in advance online?
Yes, you can for Eventbrite.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
If you
link.
Yep.
go ahead, you know, just.
Sorry, for Eventbrite, you can go and find there, but also on our Facebook, we have a CRACKCOON Campout event, which was nicknamed by Justin. That was, I thought, great sloganing. And it has a part 1 and a part 2, and it gives you all the information there if you want to find that on Facebook as well.
Love it. And I'll have the link down in the description as well.
Perfect.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
All right. So, Killer Campout 2. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, it's a fun one. The easiest way I could really describe it is if you're a fan of Friday the 13th Part 6. If you like that one where we introduce Tommy Jarvis and Jason comes back from the dead because of just bad or dumb luck, you probably are going to like Killer Campout too. It does follow a little bit of those beats in the beginning. Our killer, Gene Blackwell, who dies in the first Killer Campout, he is resurrected by this dumb fuck and his friends. And when he comes back, well, he wants out for blood, and that blood may be Justin, Kay, and other people that are in the cast.
Maybe. You guys will have to find out.
Yeah.
Now, do you recommend everyone to watch Killer Campout The first one, the original.
If you can. So I looked into this a little bit after Justin and I did an interview the other day. You can't currently stream Killer Campout that I could find.
Really?
It used to be. It used to be on Tubi. But you can still order a copy actually from Amazon if you want the physical media for about $13.
Okay.
However, I don't believe you need to see the original Killer Campout to enjoy Killer Campout 2. There are a few Easter eggs and things like that, or a few maybe faces from part 1 to part 2 that reappear. So you might catch that and go, oh, hey, I remember that guy. But it's not essential viewing to enjoy Killer Campout 2.
Now, will part 2 be bigger and badder?
Yes.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
By leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I think I don't know if Justin or Kay would agree with me. I don't know if you've seen the first one or not, but
Yes.
the characters I think are a lot more in depth in Killer Campout 2 than Killer Campout the original, where I think Killer Campout Phil has a lot of the, and it not to be bad, it is the slasher motif. We go in, we slaughter, we have the person who shows up and basically delivers the quote unquote pizza and then dies. They're there as part of the body count. Where I don't think that really happens with Killer Campout 2. Everyone is either part of Justin's group that is going out for personal wellness, or they're part of my group who were dumb enough to want to raise a psychopath from the dirt.
Yeah. You get to have a relationship with the characters prior to their possible demise.
Right.
Exactly.
So you get to care about them a bit more.
Yeah.
Now, as an actor, is it harder to work on a sequel than it is, original?
Oh no.
I think so.
Not in my experience. I think you just get as much information about that first one as you can prior to filming, and then you just, because for a character like mine who wasn't in the first one, for me I was just like, these characters to me are all new,
Right.
Except for maybe like one person, and that's Bruce's character for me, because Bruce's character and my character have some backstory together, little history, but other than that, my character's coming in fresh, so I was like, cool, I get to come in fresh as well. Now if I'm playing a character that was done in a previous film, I would have to do a bit more research, but I have not played that yet. So,
Justin and Chris?
I see it as it's just a new movie at that point. Like, if I was recast to be someone else, then I would do a little research. But otherwise, it's a new movie. My character is being new introduced. I can go in with a fresh slate. It would be a little different if I'm a recurring character, like I was in part 1 into part 2. I would want to refreshen myself a little bit with whatever I might have done. But otherwise, not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with Chris. I do think it's important, if you are a returning character, even if you're the only returning character, then you want to bring that character into the second movie where it makes sense. Or if you have a lot of flashbacks in this new movie and it's flashing back to the first movie you were in, then you want to be that same character and tweak the changes as your character develops. But I agree with Kay and Chris. Most times at Killer Campout 2, it's 95%, if not more, a new cast. So it's all new stories, all new backgrounds. We can hit the ground running and make it our own. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Now, was it important at all to try to get that same feel of the original?
Actually, I would think it's a different feel altogether, because the way Killer Campout was filmed, it has a more retro style to it. It has more of the 80s love, where you have a fair bit of ADR to help with the cleaning up of the voice within the film. You have the graphics of the cameras also hit that more nostalgic vibe, where with Killer Campout 2, we have fairly new digital cameras and modern sound equipment and things like that. So I don't think I think there'll be a significant difference.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So listen, we can get to the fun part of the interview. I'm going to ask everyone here. Since we have 3 guests, I'm going to ask each one of you your own unique horror question. All right. You ready?
Okay.
Justin, out of all the ways you possibly died in a movie, which one would you be like, fuck no, I wouldn't want to die that way?
I wouldn't want to die that way?
Correct.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I want the craziest death I could get. Okay, no, I'll be honest. Okay. I'm a stickler on, you can tell it. Look how I look. I'm big on my hair, my face. I don't like to get dirty. So either way, blood's going to fuck me up. But I wouldn't want anything where like my face is like being burned or acid or anything where my skin starts to like bubble up. Justin would be upset with that. Not the character, but I would be like, oh my God, how do I look, guys? As like my face.
You want to be able to
closed
have an open
casket,
casket.
and he doesn't want that.
You want an open casket look.
I am a queen of all queens, so I don't like having anything messed up looking up here from here up. So anything with my face would probably freak me out.
Not the face, not the face.
Yeah, not the face. But anything else I'm for. Like, I want the craziest death possible, to be honest with you.
Okay, the question for
Yes.
you. Is there a final girl, or I should say, is there a iconic woman actress from a horror movie that you would love to work with?
Oh. Yeah. So I'm a big Nightmare on Elm fan. So I would absolutely love to work with the actress who played Alice in oh my gosh. I'm messing this up. I'm a terrible horror fan.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4.
Yeah. I would love I'd love to work with her. Like that would be awesome.
I got you, Kay.
She's awesome. Thank you.
I was trying to think of the actress name on top of my head.
Yeah.
Yes, 3 and 4.
I can Google it.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, shoot over to you. All right, if you were a real life killer, what demographic or individuals, who would be your ideal target?
Oh, okay. So you give me the question that can get me in trouble, and the other two pretty chill ones. All right. I don't want to murder people. I'm sorry. I don't have a demographic that I don't. I was like, no. Like, I'm good.
No.
I'm not. There's no special population that I want to just kill. I'm good.
Okay.
So it's the actress's name is Lisa Wilcox.
Yes, Lisa Wilcox. My answer to that question is definitely pedophile and rapist. I mean, I think I would be more like a Dexter type killer. You know what I mean? If I was to be a killer, when I was still the innocent. Yes.
Animal abusers for me.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Don't mess with my dog. Don't do it. I'm a
Don't
dog mom. You guys.
But they say that people who kill and abuse animals usually wind up being killers. So want to think
stereotypically that's
Yeah.
that's how many serial killers begin, is that curiosity with violence and death, and they do start with small animals and graduate.
All right, everybody. Let's. Where can everyone find you? I'm going to shoot with Kay.
Oh yes. So you can find me on Instagram. It's KSurfsRoxy. KAYSURFSROXY on Instagram. And I think I have a TikTok as K_Leahy, but I'm not on it very much. So, and it's probably not going to be. Apparently, TikTok's not going to be up much longer.
That's what I hear.
And yeah, if you request me on Facebook and I do not reply, please don't take it personally. So, yeah.
And Chris?
You can find me at Hitlist Video. We have a Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. It's a production company. We have 2 films in post right now, Heavy Duty Man and Head on the Writer's Block, with associations with Cinephoto and Small Town Horrors. We are actually putting out a short film here shortly called A Total Cat Person, starring Rowan Weiblin and Rick Germain. We did that with in association with Can We Change That Later Productions. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. That'll be showing May 17th. And yeah, then we'll probably put that on YouTube shortly. And then we got some other short stuff coming up as well. We also do some gaming content and other indie film reviews. Like we did a review on Bathtub Shark Attack recently on Hitlist Videos YouTube. And we'll stream and record some episodes of Blood on the Clock Tower for Twitch and YouTube as well.
Love it. And
remind me to get back to you on that, Chris.
Sure.
Yes.
So for me, I'm pretty active on Facebook, less on Instagram, but I'm on both. Facebook is my first name, Justin, Kendall Martin, so KEN-DOLL, then my last name, Martin. On Instagram, kind of similar, it's Kendall_JP, which is Justin Paul, middle name Paul. So I usually go by JP, but not many people know that. Most people just call me Justin.
Yeah.
But yes, and I do want to mention really quick. So if anyone who's not in the East Coast are able to make it out to our premiere for both movies, the 25th and 26th of May, they will be up on streaming platforms, I believe, late fall, around the August-September timeframe. So that'll be on Amazon Prime, on Tubi, Plex TV, and I believe another one as well. Mm-hmm. So don't worry if you can't make it out. They will be available through that platform if you want to purchase a DVD or Blu-ray. If you haven't already, if you did, those are coming to you right after the premiere, actually.
Yep.
And everything else will be online for you to purchase if you want to get a copy of it later on down the road as well. And I do want to put a quick plug in. So Kay and I are going to be in a new film, actually, that we start filming in July. Mm-hmm. So, most of our interactions together the last year or two, either we're love interest or we're together already. So it's just funny. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know. We're just apparently the husband and wife of actors.
That's fine with me. I'm
all for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I will say that after each premiere on the 25th and 26th, they are going to be doing a Q&A after the show with the cast and who's ever able to come. So really looking forward to that. Come out and see us. Come see our project, something that we've devoted so much love and energy into and camaraderie. And come meet us. Come take pictures, autographs. We'll have a booth set up for you.
There'll be some physical things you can buy from Fuzzy Monkey, if I remember correctly. Not sure what those items will be just yet, but my understanding there will be physical items there that can be purchased.
Yes. Come take a picture with us. We love it. I mean, I love it.
I will do it if someone asks.
Alcoholic beverages too, so if you want to drink and enjoy the film, you can have a drink. Some people need that to ease the tension. Well, go ahead. Grab you two. Double fist it if you want to.
But so CRACKCOON will be Saturday, May 25th. Killer Campout will be May 26th. Both tickets are currently $15. There is a small internet fee if you decide to buy it from Eventbrite, or you can buy it on site. There is a two-day pass which goes for $25, which basically saves you a couple bucks if you're going to come to both films. Which I recommend coming to both films.
Definitely. And I have a lot of subscribers from the Maryland area since I'm from Maryland. So definitely get over to Heavy Degrees on May 25th and 26th and check out CRACKCOON and Killer Campout 2. And also, if you want to get your tickets in advance, go in the description. The Eventbrite link is down there. Justin, Kay, Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure. I am so glad I'm going to be in Carolina for Carolina Fair Fest that weekend, because if I wasn't, I would totally be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're sad we're sad we're missing Carolina Fear Fest, but I mean that was the apparently that was the weekend that we could get the theater. So we were like,
and it also worked for people's traveling as well, like people within the cast being able to come up for a part of it. Is there is some overlap with, like, for myself and Justin, we're both in both films, so having them together. But there's also some people who live out west that were in both films, so doing it this way allowed them to participate.
Yes, most definitely.
Right.
So yes, everybody get out there, support indie horror, especially to see it on the big screen.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, it's been an absolute blast to have you on. I'm pretty sure we're going to run into each other at Creature Feature or somewhere, because we seem to run in the same circles.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
There's no problem. It's been a blast to have you guys on. Listen, everybody, thank you for coming to the Horror Room. That's Kay, Justin, Chris. I'm Travis. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.